To the next part, we have seen that huge electric field exists inside the depletion region due to the barrier potential which doesn't allow electric current to flow through the junction because majority charge carriers they are not able to cross through the junction. So in order to make certain current to flow through the junction, a battery of suitable potential difference must be applied across it. So this application of an external battery to be connected across the junction so that a suitable current begins to flow through the circuit. We call it as the biasing of the PN junction diode. Now for a given PN junction diode, we have two type of biasing. One is called forward biasing, other is called the reverse biasing. First we discuss the forward biasing. Now, if a battery is connected across the junction in such a way that its positive terminal is connected with the p-type semiconductor and negative terminal is connected with the n-type semiconductor, we call this type of biasing as the forward biasing. In this case, when forward biasing is done, the positive charge present inside the battery at its positive terminal is connected with the p-type material. So positive charge of the battery, it repels the majority charge carrier which are the holes toward the junction, and the negative charge of the battery, because it is connected with the n-type material, it is going to repel the free electrons in the n region toward the junction. That is, the majority charge carriers which are holes in the p region and the electrons which are majority charge carrier in the n region, both are pushed toward the junction due to the potential difference applied by this particular battery. So as these majority charge carriers, they move toward the junction, the number of the donor ions in the n region and the number of acceptor ions in the p region inside the depletion layer, they decreases, due to which the potential barrier set up inside the depletion region, it also decreases, electric field also decreases, due to which the majority charge carriers, they are able to cross through the junction and an electric current begins to flow through the circuit. We know that in a unbiased PN junction, huge number of donor ions are present in the N region and acceptor ions are present in the P region. These ions are formed because donor atom has lost their fifth electron, and acceptor ions are formed because they have accepted the electron arriving from the N region. So in this case, if N region is connected with the negative terminal, P region is connected with the positive terminal of the battery. So holes, they will be pushed towards the junction and electrons will be pushed towards the junction from the N region. So as these electrons will be pushed, all electrons, they will start moving in the forward direction. So all the electrons, they will start moving in the forward direction. So when they will reach the junction, they will interact with the positive donor ions. So these donor ions, they are actually the donor atoms short of their fifth electron. So when these electrons which are being repelled by the negative terminals of the battery, they will reach in the depletion layer, they will attach themselves with the few of the donor ions, due to which the deficiency of the fifth electron for a particular donor atom will disappear. So that will again change into a donor atom. That means the number of the donor ions in this depletion region, it will start decreasing slowly and slowly. Similarly, in the p region, when holes are being pushed towards the junction, there they will interact with the negative acceptor ions, which are nothing the acceptor atom which have accepted the fourth electron arriving from the n region. So when holes will be pushed in the forward direction, the acceptor ions present in the depletion layer, they will lose this their fourth gained electron to these holes coming from p region towards the junction. So due to that, the number density of the acceptor ions in this region will also decrease. So in this way, when forward biasing is done, the number density of holes, number density of the donor and the acceptor ion decreases, depletion width also decreases, electric field strength also decreases, due to which the majority charge carriers are able to cross over the junction, due to which a big current begins to flow through the circuit, which is called as the forward current, which is of the order of few milliamperes. So the width of the depletion layer decreases due to the forward biasing of the p-n junction region, and a current of few milliamperes called forward current is now flowing through the circuit. Now in order to study the characteristics of the p-n junction diode, that is the VI characteristics of a p-n junction diode, which are nothing but the study of the variation of the current through the diode with the applied potential difference. We plot a graph between the forward current and the forward voltage to study the forward biasing of characteristics of the p-n junction diode. The circuit diagram is present right in front of you, where the p terminal or the junction diode is connected with the positive terminal of the battery, negative terminal is connected with the negative terminal of the battery. A milliammeter is connected to determine the current. Potential difference of few millivolt will be present. The potential difference across positive and negative terminal of the battery is varied with the help of the rheostat. So here, if we start from the zero, if slowly and slowly the potential difference across the p-n junction diode is increased, in the beginning we will see that amount of the electric current in the circuit is almost zero till a particular set of voltage is reached. We know that a barrier potential of 0.7 volt and 0.3 volt respectively for silicon and germanium exist. So if we are using, suppose, this p-n junction diode made up from the silicon, it has a barrier voltage of 0.7 volt, which means until and unless the applied voltage doesn't become equal to or more than 0.7 volt, the applied voltage will not be able to provide sufficient amount of energies to the holes and the electrons, that is to the majority charge carriers, so that they will be able to cross over the junction and they will be able to create the forward current. That's why till the applied voltage become equal to 0.7 volt, the value of the electric current through the circuit is almost zero. But as soon as the value of the applied voltage become equal to the barrier voltage of the diode or becomes more than that, the current suddenly shoots up in the circuit. The current suddenly rises in the circuit. This rise in the electric current indicates that applied voltage is now sufficiently stronger so that it has reduced the width of the depletion layer, due to which number of majority charge carriers are able to cross over the junction, and the forward current of finite magnitude of the order of few milliamperes is now beginning to flow through it. If we apply at this stage a voltage greater than the barrier voltage, even by a very small amount, you can see that there is a large increase in the value of electric current even with a very small value of the applied voltage. So you can see that even if the applied voltage is very small, the value of the electric current here, this is the increase in the electric current due to this much increase in the voltage. But if voltage is again increased by the same amount, then the amount of the electric current increases by very large amount. This is because when applied voltage becomes more than the barrier voltage, Suddenly, huge number of majority charge carriers are able to cross over the junction due to a process called avalanche multiplication in a simple normal PN junction diode, due to which the current rises abruptly. But one thing, we should not apply a voltage much more than the barrier voltage to a PN junction diode when it is forward biased, because any voltage of value great very large compared to the barrier voltage of the PN junction diode, it may burn down the diode due to the process called avalanche multiplication. This voltage, which is a barrier voltage, we can easily determine it from this forward characteristics of the silicon diode. We just need to select the point which is at point at which on the curve the graph is showing a sudden rise in the electric current. So at that point you simply need to draw a tangent at this point. The tangent is going to meet some value of the voltage at the voltage axis. That is called as the, this value of the voltage, we call it as the knee voltage, or it is also known by the name cut-in voltage. So it is that voltage at which finite amount of current will begin to flow through the circuit. This will also give us the value of the barrier voltage. The second type of biasing that can be done, that is known as the reverse biasing. This thing happens when negative terminal of the battery is connected with the positive terminal of the diode, and positive terminal of the battery is connected with the negative terminal of the diode. This type of biasing, we call it as a reverse biasing. In this case, no current due to the majority charge carrier is able to flow through the junction. Reason, we have connected negative terminal of the battery with the positive terminal of the diode. So all the negative charge present on the negative terminal of the battery starts attracting the holes, due to which all the holes, they are now moving away from the junction. Similarly, the positive terminal of the battery is connected with the N region of the diode. So all the electrons which are present in the N region, they are also start moving away from the junction. So no majority charge carrier in the P region as well as in the N region is moving toward the junction, but they are moving away from the junction. So due to this, what happens? The mobile charge carriers, which are the electrons inside the N region, because now they are shifting away from the junction. So the donor atoms, due to this kind of application of the battery, they will start losing their fifth electron, due to which they will change into a donor ion. Now because these electrons coming from the donor atom, now they are not moving toward the junction, but they are moving away from the junction. What happens? The concentration of the donor ions in the N region, it increases. Similarly, because holes are majority charge carriers in the P region, and these holes are moving away from the junction, due to which what happens? The number of acceptor ions in the P region, concentration of the acceptor ions in the P region, it also starts increasing, due to which the region or the width in which immobile charge carriers, which are donor ions in N region and acceptor ions in the P region, it increases. Due to this increase in the number of donor and acceptor ions in the depletion layer, the barrier potential increases. Due to increase in the barrier potential, the value of the electric field setup in depletion layer, it also increases. And this depletion electric field is so much strong that it doesn't allow any of the majority charge carriers to pass over the junction. So Here in this arrangement, the current arising due to the majority charge carrier is equal to 0. But if we connect an ammeter here in the circuit, it will detect a current of very small magnitude of the order of few microamperes even in this arrangement. This current of the order of few microamperes which is arriving in this case is not due to the majority charge carriers, but it is due to the minority charge carriers. We call this type of current as the reverse current. So when this type of arrangement or this biasing is done, because majority charge carriers are not moving towards but away from the junction, so current due to them is 0. But there will be some of the minority charge carriers present inside the depletion region. So if we take a look closely, there will be some of the electrons which will be the minority charge carriers which will be present inside the p region. So there will be some of the electrons which will be present as the minority charge carriers in the p region, and then there will be some of the holes which will be present as the minority charge carriers in the n region. So when this reverse battery is applied across the junction, all the majority charge carriers are running away from the junction, but these minority charge carriers, which are the negative electrons in the p region, they are pushed toward the junction, and all the holes which are the minority charge carriers in the n region, they are also rushed towards the junction. So when these minority carriers they cross over the junction, they generate a current of the order of few microamperes, which is called as the reverse current. But this current is very small in magnitude. Reason, these minority charge carriers which are formed over here, they are purely dependent upon the temperature of the p-n junction diode, because they are formed due to the breakage of the few of the covalent bonds present in the crystal structure. So if the diode is operated at small temperature, the number of such minority carriers will also be less, due to which the value of the reverse current will also be very small. But if the temperature of a diode is increased, it will lead to breakage of more covalent bonds and more minority charge carriers will be obtained in the crystal structure, so more will be the value of this reverse current. This is the circuit diagram to study the reverse bias VI characteristics of a PN junction diode. If we plot a graph between the reverse voltage and the reverse current, because we are applying battery to the PN junction diode in the opposite polarity, so we call this type of applied voltage as the reverse voltage, which is plotted on the negative x-axis, and the corresponding current which is also flowing opposite, so we call this as the reverse current, which is plotted on the negative y-axis. So in this case, if we take a look at the graph, we see that as the applied voltage is increased in the beginning, the variation in the reverse current with the applied voltage is almost negligible. That means almost a constant reverse current flows through the circuit, which is called as a reverse saturation current. But if we keep on increasing the value of the applied voltage, a particular stage is reached suddenly where the current which was earlier flowing almost independent of the applied voltage, it suddenly increases its value. This takes place at a particular value of the reverse applied voltage, which is known as the breakdown voltage. So when a diode is applied in the reverse bias condition, a voltage equal to the breakdown voltage, what happens? The reverse current flowing through the circuit, it suddenly shoots up. It suddenly rises in the electric circuit. This increase in the reverse current is actually due to the breakdown of the diode. We know that this reverse current arises due to the minority charge carriers present in the crystal structure, which are obtained due to the breakage of the covalent bond, which are actually breaking up due to the absorption of energy from the room temperature. But when the applied voltage across the junction becomes too much large, what it does, the applied electric field due to the reverse bias battery, it generates sufficient amount of electric force on the electrons taking part in the covalent bond formation such that it starts breaking apart the covalent bonds of the crystal structure. Every time a single covalent bond is broken, it leads to the formation of an electron and a hole. So, when sufficiently strong voltage equal to or more than breakdown voltage is applied, it suddenly leads to the breakage of large number of covalent bonds, leading to the production of a large number of electrons and the holes, each in the p region as well as in the n region. So covalent bond breaking in the p region generates electron and hole, and similarly covalent bond breaking in the n region also generates electron and hole. Holes in the p region and electrons in the n region, they are the majority charge carriers, so they are pushed away from the junction. Whereas electrons in the p region and holes in the n region, they are the minority charge carriers, so they are pushed towards the junction where they set up the reverse current. So when suddenly huge number of covalent bonds are broken inside the crystal structure, suddenly huge number of minority charge carriers are released, which after cross over the junction they are able to generate this reverse current, which suddenly rises after the applied potential difference becomes equal to or greater than the breakdown voltage. So this VI characteristic curve of the diode under reverse bias and in the forward bias condition, it can be combined together to form a complete PN junction diode VI characteristics. Thank you.